Hey, welcome in everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. We are just waiting. It's hella early for me, so we're just waiting for them to get this started, and then we'll talk about it and everything. But if you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up. Please support the channel. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out where you're from. You know the whole spiel. But welcome in. We're about to get started. We're about 3 minutes out, something like that. All right, we got this. And then, after I get some coffee in me, and we listen to all this, we'll break it down. We'll do some Q&A ourselves, and we'll figure it all out. But what's going on there? I see you. Reach, Jedi, Hodgins, Harbinger, Ryan, Frank, Just Chill, Orlando, Shifty, Peggle. I see you guys. What's going on? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. But all right, we are, 3 minutes out. So hit the thumbs up. Let me know what you think is about to happen, and we'll have some fun. All right, here we go. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go.
And we are live. Welcome, agents. My name is Leonardo Lorenzoni, Leo Lorenzoni for some. The still new Kamdev from the Division 2. This is my second stream, but I'm here with a veteran from the community, someone that you guys know for a long time, the creative director, Yannick. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and like you're not new anymore when it's your second stream.
Yeah,
you're already a veteran. You went through the trials of fire. So
we have some new people in our staff today, so I can consider this a new another opportunity for new people to show up in the Division stream. So today we have a Q&A session with you all. We ask for some questions in our Twitter and our X. Actually, I need to remember that the platform has a new name, Discord and in our social. So you guys send us some questions that we will try to answer the majority of them today. Also, we are going to pick some questions from the chat. So if you have questions that we are not covering, topics that we are not discussing here, please make sure to drop on your questions in our chat, and our team will select them so we can answer them later. Also, we have some special guests today, like just some small participations of some people who submit their questions through video. So this is the funnest possible Q&A session we ever had, because we need to make sure that we answer questions, but trying to give something cool for you to see as well. So
I like Q&A because I don't have to do anything. I'm just sitting here and I'm just going to try to answer questions the best way I can. I don't even have to play and have people mock me for my my bad gameplay.
I noticed that. But also,
you notice what, my bad gameplay? Or?
No. I noticed how nervous you are when you're trying to play and answer questions at the same time.
I think I heard that you said you noticed my bad gameplay. Well, say goodbye to Leo. 2 streams. That was a good streak.
Sorry. See you later. But we are 6 days away from Brooklyn. That's an important point in our trajectory. So far in our journey, we are about to release a new DLC after so long time. We're about to release the first season of Year 7. It's an important moment for us, and we try to cover the most questions we got from these specific topics. Obviously, we're going to cover some generic questions as well about the game, or other aspects that it's not related to seasons or the new DLC. But I think what's the most important is that we try to get the questions that were most frequent, or that are going to talk about aspects of the 2 features that we want to talk as well. We want to make people aware of. So I think the first one, it's one of the most asked in our socials, is when will pre-orders for the DLC begin? That's a tricky one, because I know that you're the creative director. You're not responsible for publishing. So
I don't sell it. I make it.
If you allow, I can answer that. So let's start this Q&A with me answering. Actually, the DLC will not be available for pre-order, because this is not the way that DLCs works here. The DLC will be available for you to buy on May 27th, 8 a.m. from Central European Summertime. And if you want to wish list it, you can do this through UB Store. So just making sure that you're not missing anything. We didn't forget to make it available for pre-order. Everybody's going to get access to the DLC at the same time, May 27th, next week. All right? Second question, Yannick. Does the Day 1 physical Gold Edition include the Brooklyn DLC, considering the new Gold Edition has different content?
That one is for me?
Okay. I want to know if you know that.
The answer is no. If you bought the Gold Edition back in Day 1, you will not get the DLC included for free. Only the new Gold Edition will include it. So you will have to buy the DLC separately.
Awesome. Next question. Will Brooklyn be like Warlords of New York originally and lock us into the location until the story is completed, or we will be able to travel freely between Brooklyn, Manhattan, and DC?
No, you will be able to travel freely. We are not going to lock you into the campaign. You can go to Brooklyn, you can do a couple of missions, then you can go back to DC or Manhattan, do your thing, play the season, then go back to Brooklyn, keep going. Your progression in the campaign is going to be saved. And the reason why we're not doing that is we don't need to. We did it with Warlords of New York because that was a level 30 to 40 progression. And so we had to make sure that you stayed within that progression, because the rest of the game wouldn't have been able to handle that. But we don't need that with Brooklyn because it's all level 40 anyway. So you're free to. You don't have to do it in one go. You're free to move as much as you want.
Perfect. So now we're gonna talk more about the story of this DLC. I would like to ask you to not spoil it for me because I haven't played Brooklyn yet,
Okay.
and I guess the majority, if not all, of our audience tonight has not as well. So I think I mastered the right progression for Division 2 because since I joined Massive, I've been playing on my free time, and now I'm reaching to the end of the main campaign. So I think going to Brooklyn like next week is gonna be like perfect mesh into this.
Are you level 40 yet?
No, I'm not. I'm level 26 maybe, so I have this weekend to finish, and yeah,
Just
let's see.
14 levels in 1 weekend. I'm sure somebody can carry you if you want.
Yeah, for sure. I'm guess my wife is gonna be super happy with me grinding all of those levels. All right, so let's talk about some of the story aspects. But the first question we got is actually from a player. It's from Hunter451. And that's the video he recorded. So let's see what he prepared for us.
Hello, Division Team. Hunter 451 here with this lovely backdrop of Utah behind me. My question for the team is, with the theme of sometimes you have to go back to the beginning in order to see how far you've come, can Division 1 veterans expect subtle nods to their old characters, or maybe even some story that perhaps was cut from the original game? Thank you.
All right.
Nice. Beautiful
landscape.
backdrop there. Yeah.
Yeah. Utah. Okay.
With the wars.
Do you have a good answer for that? Because Brooklyn is the place from the beginning of Division 1, so the story must be at least, I wouldn't say connected, but like people will recognize things, right?
Yeah, I mean it's we're going to Brooklyn for a reason. It would be a missed opportunity to go to Brooklyn and not have any references to Brooklyn as we knew it or last time we saw it. So I'm sure you all know that, but Brooklyn was where the adventure began in the Division 1. This was the tutorial area in Division 1, and that part of the map is it exists in the Brooklyn DLC. We rebuilt it, we've remade it entirely, but it's still, there's a lot of references, there's a lot of Easter eggs, there's a lot of connections with the map as it was. Actually, the very street, the very spot where you created your character in Division 1 exists in the Brooklyn DLC. The room where some of you had to queue to actually activate your agent to get access to the laptop, that room exists. So there's a lot of references. Some of them we're going to guide you to, others that are just for you to find out. So there's you'll find a lot of those.
Cool. And the first question we got from this section that is not a video is, will the narrative events introduced in Brooklyn continue to play a role beyond this DLC? Can we expect a long-term expansion in the game world?
I mean, Brooklyn is an isolated story, and it still takes place in the same timeline. It still takes place, after the events of Season 3, of Year 6 Season 3. But that being said, it is a disconnected story, but it is still the same characters, it is still the same world, it is still the same events. So I don't want to spoil too much, but yes, there are connections, there are references you will understand if you've played the seasons. The idea is the story should be understood even if you haven't, but if you have, you will be able to go a few layers deeper and understand even more. And ultimately, yes, this converges and it reconnects to the greater story.
Yeah, the next question I have here is, will the story in Brooklyn tie into the seasonal manhunts, or is it a standalone? You kind of answered that as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's also an opportunity we have here to discuss how everything is kind of connected in the same time. Like May 27, we will not just bring Brooklyn, but we will also bring the new season called Crossroads, and we're going to have a lot of features that resonates about Brooklyn and the old days in Division 1. So I think it is a separate story, but also it's much more because it's connected to a bigger thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's your experience. I mean, throughout the entire update and season, you will re-experience things from Division 1, and that's also kind of why the season is called Crossroads, because this is the convergence of the old and the new. So we have the Brooklyn experience. It's a transformed Brooklyn. It's a completely new story, a completely new space. But it still has the footprint of what Brooklyn was in Division 1. The season modifiers, as you know, are also inspired by Division 1 mechanics. But yet it is modifiers, it is new experiences for the game as well. So it's really trying to nod at our history and our legacy, but also look towards the future. And there's a really bright future ahead of us.
Exciting. Talking about the past and a little bit about the world designing and how we built it, the question is, was Brooklyn built from scratch or on top of the existing Division 1 map?
Yeah, I think I touched on that, but no, it was rebuilt from scratch. So, I mean, we took the Division 1 map as a reference. We wanted to make sure we have the same streets, we have the same buildings, we have all of that, but we had to rebuild it because it's a different version of the engines, different metrics, everything is different. So we can't just copy-paste something from Division 1 into Division 2. It was easier and faster to rebuild it. Now, I just want to be clear, the map of the DLC is not just the space of the Division 1 map, because I've seen some people commenting on that. It is bigger than that. So we've added on top of it. So it's not just the space you explored in the first game. There is more streets and a whole other name zone also to explore.
Awesome. Yeah. This question, I know I've been here just for a few weeks, but I know that people really like this one. Is the Brooklyn DLC going to have dynamic weather like rain, dry weather, and snow?
That's a nice, elegant way to try to to put the snow question in there. Brooklyn is set in autumn, so there is dynamic weather in the sense that there is rain, there is sun, there is fog, there's weather presets that you know and are used to. There are some that we've tweaked and adjusted or brought to the game to align with the autumn setting. But it is autumn; it's not winter, so there will not be snow.
Okay, another question that I've seen a lot as well. Is there a land connection between Brooklyn and the downtown areas? So can people go to New York?
No, you can't. You cannot directly travel between Brooklyn and New York. You will have to fast travel for that.
Okay. Next question. Are there any plans to make proper use of the Brooklyn map after we finish the storyline, such as daily, weekly projects, invaded missions, etc.? So I think about the replayability of the DLC, right? People will purchase the DLC next week and they will speed run the campaign, what we can offer to them later.
Yeah, there's a lot of replayability in the DLC. First, excuse me. When you finish the story, there's more to unlock. There's more exploration. There's collectibles. There are world bosses. There's a hunter. So there's a lot more to discover and to unlock if you want to complete it 100%. But after that, there is replayability in the sense that you can replay the missions. We talked about the world missions, which is our new version of side missions, are replayable. They are replayable with difficulty settings. So that you can do. We also have targeted loot that is actually added there. So that's going to be interesting, especially with the world missions, because they are bite-sized, very short. Especially in replay, they are probably going to get shorter and shorter as people get more used to speed running them. So that's going to be probably a very efficient way to get targeted loot. And then that's also going to be, if you own Battle for Brooklyn, that can be integrated into the rest of the experience. For example, you will have or you can have priority objectives in Brooklyn. So if you want to play and grind in Brooklyn, you can do that. Now we're not going to have invasion as in the Washington map. That's not something we're planning to bring, but there will be the systemic replayability that you can expect from the game. The open world also has all the living world systems, and then depending on how it goes, we could potentially expand on that and add more things to Brooklyn if people really want more reasons to come back to that map.
All right. Now the question is, we will see a new incursion coming as an off-site mission in Brooklyn later on?
That's not the plan. And if we were to do another incursion, I don't think we would necessarily limit it to Brooklyn, but be more interesting to have something that is available to everyone. But we're not planning a new incursion right now.
Okay. We will see more than one exotic item in Brooklyn?
No, we've just made one exotic item. We don't necessarily want to have too many exclusives behind what ultimately is paid content. We made that one exotic item because we thought that was a fun opportunity also to have something that is thematically, gameplay-wise related to the DLC itself. It's very much about status effect and fire and how do you fight fire with fire. So it made sense, but we don't necessarily want to add more than that.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the level 40 boost because that's a big topic that a lot of people have been discussing. Obviously, that we're going to touch the topic of scavenging points later on, but the level 40 boost had raised a lot of questions, and I'm going to make them for you now.
Yeah.
Is it unlimited use? So can I do more than one?
Well, if you own the DLC, yes, you can.
Can I use in 4 characters?
You can boost as many characters as you want. You can create 4 characters that are going to be level 40. You can just delete them, create new ones. So yeah, it's unlimited.
Okay, when boosting to 40, does it unlock all weapons mod blueprints as well?
Well, you will have to get them.
Okay.
You're not going to get them directly.
Will the level 30 boost still exist?
Yeah, it still exists. So we're not removing it. It's part of the Warlords of New York experience also, because Warlords of New York still has a level 30 to 40 progression. So we are not removing it. What's the value of boosting to 30 if you can boost to 40? I don't know, but there's no reason to remove it.
Okay, will there be an option screen when creating a new character to boost or play from scratch?
Yeah, I mean, when you create a character, it's the case already right now. And like when you create a character, you can choose between starting from the Washington DC campaign or play the Warlords of New York campaign. If you choose Warlords of New York, you will directly start at level 30. So here it's going to be the same. We just add the third option. So you can choose to start your character directly from the Brooklyn experience and you will be level 40. Otherwise, when you're in game, if with your existing character, if that character is not level 40 or not level 30, if you go to the helicopter pilot and decide to say that you want to play Brooklyn, then we will ask you, are you sure? If you go there, you will be boosted to level 40.
Yeah.
So that's your choice.
All right. What's the next one? What if characters is already in progress? How will they choose to boost to 40?
Well, that's as I said, you will go to the helicopter pilot, and there you will get the choice. Do you want to go to New York and play Warlords of New York? Do you want to go to Brooklyn and play the Battle for Brooklyn?
Yeah.
And once you choose that, then we will give you warnings that you're going to be boosted to 40, which means also that there might be some content you will not get to experience because some of that is connected to the progression. Not in Brooklyn, but in the rest of the game. But once you've confirmed, you will land in Brooklyn and be level 40.
Okay, talking about progression, if a player wants to experience the story chronologically, what path do you recommend?
Well, I mean, start from the base game, play all the missions, play the invasion, then play the episode missions in the order, and then Warlords of New York, and then Brooklyn.
So pretty much the way that we released.
And if you have time, play the climax missions in between. But takes a lot of time. But if you really want to re-experience everything, that would be the correct way to do it.
All right. Now talking a little bit more about gameplay. Will any of the new missions have legendary difficulty? If not, is it possible for the future?
No, they will not have legendary difficulty. They have the regular difficulty settings. As to adding more legendary, and I think that's not just for Brooklyn, that's for the game in general. That's not off the table. We just need to find the right way and the right time to do it. But that's something we're interested to explore.
Now a question that I got a lot in our forums and also I've been seeing in the chat as well. Given that we're returning to Brooklyn, will the Lexington be brought back for players who miss it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not Brooklyn itself, but yeah, we may bring it back. Yeah.
Okay. What can we expect from this DLC that the first one in New York didn't have?
That's a it's a very big question. How many hours do you have? No, I mean these are two very different. These are different things. It's a new story. It's a new map. It's a new setting with Autumn. There's some new gameplay ingredients. You have a new skill. New York had new skills as well. Brooklyn has a new one. It's it's more of the same in a way, but everything is fresh and everything is rebuilt. So that's what we have. Then we have a few new ingredients. As I said, the replayable world missions. That's a completely new thing that we didn't have. So until now, when you did side missions, you did them once and that was it. Now you will get to replay them. We also have like ingredients on control points, for example, that unlock with the control point alert level. That's a new gameplay tweak that didn't exist. The corrosion mechanic of the cleaners with the purple flame is also something new. So there's a few new ingredients that exist here that are going to be completely new to the game.
All right. The final one about Brooklyn that we got is, are there surprises in the DLC you haven't talked about yet that you want players to figure out?
Yes.
I think, yeah, if we haven't mentioned yet, it's because we really want you guys to go there.
So yeah, there's the surprise about.
Then it's not a surprise anymore.
There are some, yes.
Yeah, no. I saw some people were saying that those are not real questions. All of those questions are real questions that we got through the forums. Obviously, a lot of them I had to rewrite in a way that it's presentable for a Q&A, because sometimes people would put just know when, But the idea here is that we got a lot of questions from the community, like a massive amount of questions. And we not only picked the most frequent, but also some of them that we thought we could have a good opportunity here to discuss. And we also will see now another special participation, another new phase here. That's actually like we got all types of questions, and I think this video pretty much summarized the type of questions we got. So yeah, check this out.
Will there be cats, and can we pet them?
Yeah, that's it. So we got from Isabel, our dear friend from our community. So I think people are always thinking about the wildlife in the Division. And the question is, will there be cats in Brooklyn?
Well, my question is, why not the real cat in the arms? And you coward. Yes, we have cats as wildlife. That's not new. We've had cats already. They are pretty rare. They are pretty good at hiding. They exist. We also have a couple cats that exist in the settlement, in the bridge, that have been placed there. So you will have to find them. No, you cannot pet them.
Okay. All right. So now let's talk about year 7. Again, if you have more Brooklyn questions, you can ask in the chat, and then we go through some questions of the chat in the end of this Q&A session. The first question about the seasonal content is, are there plans to make seasons more dynamic by introducing rotating events, unique challenge, or limited time modes? Very, very general question, but I think we're not only going to a new season, but we're going to also a new year. So what can we expect for this?
Yeah, so I mean, we haven't talked much about year 7 yet. We've given some initial thoughts, but yeah, we want to keep evolving the season model and the season formula. We want to keep building on Seasons 2.0 and all the good things that it brought, and improve the things that still need to be improved. And part of that is, yes, in terms of promise and of fantasy, we want to push the season from season to season. So we want to have something that is a bit stronger, that is a bit more appealing, that is a bit more cohesive. So taking all the different ingredients of the season and try to align them behind a specific fantasy. And that also means bringing new experiences. So not just modifiers, but also potentially new gameplay experiences. So these are all things that we would like to do, and we are trying to move towards. So we just need to structure ourselves and make sure we can deliver on that. But overall, yes, the intention is to have more original experiences with each season.
The next question is pretty much related. I think you covered the majority of the answer. Is do you see future seasons, offering gameplay features beyond modifiers like experimental modes that could become permanent, similar to Countdown? I think you touched a lot in this, but yeah, experimental modes is.
Yeah, I mean, we want to try things. I think the great thing with seasons as they're starting to shape up now with the modifiers already, but more things that we're going to do in year 7 is we're going to be trying and experimenting with gameplay experiences, as I said earlier. So if something really sticks, if something is really popular and people like it, we could consider leaving it in the game or bringing it back at a later date in a different version. So people will find that seasons are going to be much more, disruptive one after the other in this year compared to what we've done until now. It's not just a fresh coat of paint. It's really we want a different proposition with each season.
Okay. Another question about year 7. Will there be any new raids?
Will there be any new raids in year 7? We haven't talked about raids. We don't have plans to bring a new raid just yet.
Okay. Will apparel events finally return next season?
Finally return on the anticipation of apparel events. We are looking at it. We're considering it. If they come back, it's going to be a different proposition. We want something that's, the gameplay part of it needs to be more interesting. I think what was cool with apparel events was just having this collection event where there's a lot of things to acquire and you get to play what you want and get extra rewards. So we want to keep the essence of that, but we need to find a better gameplay proposition. So it's not just grind and get keys for a chance to get a pair of boots. So we need to find the right formula, but yes, we are looking at bringing something that would be akin to what apparel events used to be.
Okay, in the year 7 showcase, you mentioned a new wrapper for open world activities. Can you elaborate on that? This is actually a real question. I didn't edit this question. It was written just like that.
Yeah. So, well, how much can I elaborate on that without spoiling too much? No, what we want is we want to try to make the open world a bit more interesting. We want to make it a bit more dynamic and reacting to what you do, and really turn the open world into an activity that you can farm, that you can do, and not just about edit convoys or these kind of things, but actually have something that is a bit more meaningful and a bit more meaty added on top of that is more akin to missions or things like that in terms of how much content we're talking about. So yes, it's a new proposition. That's a new. I'm not gonna say it's not really a game mode. It's a new feature that's gonna be added to the pool of endgame things that you can do. But it's really about, it should reconnect to what you're used to do when you play the game. But it's just gonna make the open world, pack a bit more of a punch.
Okay, I really don't wanna go more in that because I'm feeling that you're almost spoiling them. Will a similar Brooklyn activation cache be returning in the upcoming season pass?
Well, stretch goals.
Yeah.
Because that's stretch goals.
That was the
yes.
question.
I mean, the idea is, yes, we will bring back stretch goals every season. Not immediately. We want to kind of keep it the way we've done this time. So that means that towards the end of the season, we will, enable stretch goals and allow people to get them. Now, what will be in the caches? Like every season, the stretch goals will have different rewards. So what you've seen this season doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be the rule moving forward. We are still going to have to calibrate a bit and see what are the right things we want to do. But yes, they will come back.
Okay. Going out to talk about more gear and gameplay balance, is Tinker in the season pass or in a climax mission? So I think people really like that during the PTS. They're eager to know when they will be able to play with. So season pass or climax mission?
It is climax mission.
Climax mission. So you need to wait till the end of the season.
You have to wait a bit.
Yeah. Will all existing blueprints, exotic and non-exotic, be farmable in the open world and no longer locked behind modes like Descent?
I mean, most blueprints are farmable. There are some that we're still missing, and we're adding them. We actually had discussions about adding all the old ones that are still missing. So this is moving forward. And I think the exception is the named blueprints, and those are on descent right now. We have to see. We also like to have predictable sources for some of the stuff, so not everything is just added to one big pool, and then your chance of getting that one thing you want is diluted by a million different possibilities. So we have to see, but right now we're not planning on expanding on that, but that could come eventually if needed.
With the new measured assembly gear set, assembly gear set destroy grenades too, like Final Measure did in Division 1?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
So it's skilled proxies, but not grenades.
In the Division 2, there are some very low-used exotic weapons, exotic armor, gear sets, and special effects. Are you planning on reworking their effects to encourage more diverse builds?
Yes. I think it's always a balance between bringing new things and reworking things. We've done a pass some time ago now, and we've reworked a bunch of items. There are still some items that we have in our radar that we want to revisit and that we want to work on, and then on top of that, yes, when there is an opportunity, we want to look at the underperforming items, the ones that people have but do not use because they're just not meta or not even interesting, because it doesn't have to be meta, but it needs to at least create opportunities for people to try things. So when something is underperforming and we can see that, we have data to see that, this usually creates a very clear candidate for revisiting. So it's just a matter of being able to spend the time on doing that. But yes, we would like to do that more.
The next question actually is also about meta, but this is something that I think this is the question I got in the list that better summarize a lot of other questions that were related about the meta. The question is, will TTK time to kill be adjusted? Each update brings more damage increase, but they haven't been significant survivability or healing change. So people in different types of questions, they ask about this topic, how much of damage we are putting on the meta and how we are missing armor and health.
Yeah, so I don't think the issue is time to kill. The issue is difficulty. There's two elements. There's one element is that, yes, of course, as usual, most of the time damage is the meta, and we need to make sure that we have alternatives, we have options, we have rules. We are working on some ideas to do that. And then difficulty, when we're talking about always adding more damage, and then how do we bring difficulty? We need to look at that. We have some thoughts. We have some things that we're working on that are here to actually bring in more difficulty. Master was one way to do that. It's not necessarily still to the level of difficulty that some people want, but I think we found a correct balance between something that is challenging but that is still achievable by a greater number. But that being said, there's opportunities for more difficulty, more challenges, because yes, we've been giving a lot of power to players, and we need to make sure that the game remains fun and challenging for everyone. So then we need to bring in a new layer of difficulty for players.
All right, and the last one before we're moving to the whole scavenging points topic. Have you considered adding hunter outfits to the store?
We've done that already. We are doing that. We are bringing hunter outfits. We don't necessarily want to do that too much because how many times can we do a hunter outfit before it starts becoming boring, and we don't want everybody to look like a hunter. That being said, we know people love them. We enjoy working on them as well. So yes, we've done it and we will keep doing it.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to talk about scavenging points. I think that's a big topic that we release a dev notes. We're trying to address and make the communication the most transparent as possible, understanding that you guys are eager to know how it actually is going to work, understanding that it's an ongoing process, that we need to perform a lot of fine tunes in tweaks in how we're doing that. And we got some of the questions that you mentioned about scavenging points here. Let's try to use this as more one opportunity to explain why we're doing or what's the direction we're trying. But actually, who is going to make the first scavenging points question is our dear friend DJ Tickle from the community. So let's see his video.
With the watch changes that are coming on the 27th, the value of the resources you can get with each scavenging point are being multiplied by 3. Does this include field recon and SHD calibration? Can you tell us about any of the other economy updates that are coming soon, and how does all this affect our hardcore characters?
All right. So yeah, basically question about how it's gonna, first of all, how it's gonna affect the hardcore questions, hardcore characters, because I got this question a lot as well. I think this is a good opportunity to address it.
Yep. Well, I mean, hardcore characters will have their own pool. So if you have hardcore characters, they will not share the pool with the scavenging points of the other players, and you will be able to share that between your hardcore characters, but not directly with the other characters. So it's a very completely isolated pool.
Yeah. So if we have, let's say, I have 4 characters, 2 are hardcore and the 2 are not. It's just 2 separate ways of using. Yeah. And how about the resources? Are they going to be shared?
Resources are shared for the most part. There are some that are not. Yes, economies like currency and these kind of things. But the ones that are shared, they're shared between characters. They are not shared with hardcore characters. But in between characters they are. And once again, if you claim the point on one character, the materials you're going to get will be shared with the other characters as well.
Okay. The next question is about the new resource values for SHD points. So as we released on the dev notes, we're multiplying all the resources you can get with the scavenging points by 3. A lot of people ask if, that would be just for this or for that, like specific questions about the resources. For this reason, we created a table that can summarize pretty much everything that we're going to do. So you can see the gray column is from this current season. So the numbers that are actually right now in the game, and the orange one is the numbers that will be from May 27th and forward. So we're basically multiplying everything by 3, including field recon data, SHD calibration, printing filament, all the special resources that some people asked about it. Do you want to make any comment about that? Like, we're multiplying by 3 right now. Like, we mentioned in the dev notes, this is not necessarily the final solution, right?
No, I mean that's one step. I think a lot of that is also about just the time and the grind it takes to spend those points, especially when it comes to expertise. So that's something we need to look at. But at least that's one step in that direction. Just making sure that each point you spend, since now you can only spend it once, that point needs to be more rewarding. That just makes sense. So that's what you see here. It's just a straight out ×3 multiplier we're applying to everything.
Yeah, we got more questions about the scavenging points here. Some of them, like, we try to make very clear what we're going to do, but obviously people think and ask and are unsure about other aspects of their experience. So I probably know the answer for those, but let's go through them either way. So there's a community concern around the SHD watch and scavenging points. Will there be a proficiency reset or talents reset or any weapons be nerfed because of that?
No, we don't plan any changes because of that. So there's no reset that is planned. There is no proficiency, no talents reset. We're not planning to rework anything based on that. If anything, as I said, it's probably more about eventually down the line to look at the economies and the time it takes to get upgrades, to be able to invest those materials in the as I said, in expertise, in optimization, in crafting in general. So that's something we would like to look at, but we're not planning on resetting anything.
Okay, and are you planning to make character-specific materials account-wide? For example, money, water, food, components, since most other resources are already shared. So
we need to discuss it, and we need to understand why they are not right now. To be honest, from top of mind, I cannot tell you if there's a design reason why they shouldn't. If there is no good design reason outside of, well, that's just the way it was, and we've never looked at it, then we should look at it.
Yeah, right. So these were the section that we covered, the scavenging points. Make sure that you can spend all of them before May 27, because when the new updates happen, we are going to overwrite your points and gonna give you back 100% of them. So just make sure that you spend them. You can farm in the old way, but you can spend them before May 27. Some people ask, I'm gonna just jump on one of the chat questions. When are we gonna be able to play Brooklyn, and when it's gonna happen? It's May 27 at 8 a.m. Central European Summertime. All right, so we got just a few questions now out of those topics, and then we go to the chat. One of them is something that I also spot on the chat as well, is about the Twitch drops. So when people will receive their rewards for the Twitch drops, we know that we got an issue with the last Twitch drops campaign. We are not happy with that. We are still investigating how we can make sure that the right people can get rewarded for that. But in worst case scenario, if we cannot find any good solution, we're just gonna make something to make very generous to make the community happy. We're not going to prevent you from getting what you wanted. So we are still investigating, trying to make sure that we're exploring all the options, but obviously we are not going to just make people forget about that. We are aware that we need to fix it, and we need to compensate for that as well. Okay, another question that I also saw in the chat as well is, will you be removing the 999 exotic components from players who receive them via the glitch?
No, we're not planning to.
Oh, right.
We're not planning to. And as to the next question, which I will also just read directly, if players will be banned for exploiting the glitch, no, that one is on us. So we don't plan to punish the players for it.
And finally, what tools are being used to reduce the number of cheating players? Many reports seem to lead to no results. This is something that obviously, like, there's always a discussion. It's normal for live games about cheating. I think it's this question is an opportunity for us to talk about what our anti-cheat efforts and what we're doing and how things work from here. Do you want to elaborate a little bit about that?
Well, it's going to be the same reply as usual, and I know it's never satisfying for everyone, but I cannot give you the details of the tools we use because for obvious reasons, the more we pull the curtain, the more we make it easy for people to retro engineer, deconstruct our cheat protection and bypass it. But yes, we have a combination of cheat prevention, but does not allow people to actually use cheat engines in the game. That doesn't block all of them, but that blocks a bunch. And then we have our own detection tools that also allow us to see when people are cheating. And with that, then we're able to detect reports help. That doesn't mean that when you report someone, even if they're obviously cheating in front of you, that doesn't mean we're going to be able to necessarily take actions, because there's a bunch of stuff that needs to happen behind the scenes then that can lead to actually that player getting banned. So I know it doesn't always sound fair, and it is not always fair, because yes, sometimes you will see people that are cheating and we're not banning them. I hope you can trust that this is not because we don't care or because that player is a friend of ours or whatever. It's just that there's probably a bunch of reasons why that player has not been banned yet. It could also be that it can take some time.
Okay, actually, I was planning to add more stuff, but I think you cover everything that I was about to say. So I think that's the section that we got the pre-made questions from the community. We asked them to submit their questions. Some of them submit their videos, and this is the first section of the stream. Now we're going to go through some of the chat questions as well. And again, like we're going to talk about the DLC, about the new season and other stuff. So the first one is, once Brooklyn drops, will projects and priority objectives include Brooklyn going forward?
Yes, priority objectives will. There will be some projects that are including Brooklyn. What we want to make sure we are not forcing you to go into Brooklyn, especially if you don't own it. So it will always be an option. It will be an option if you own it. But yes, priority objectives will include Brooklyn. So you may roll a Brooklyn priority objective. And then, yeah, you choose to do it or not.
Another one about Brooklyn. Do we get 50 stash space with Brooklyn DLC?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I know that people love stash space. Okay. any way new cleaner fire can be added to old cleaner missions and control points? I think they're talking about the purple flame,
The
right?
purple flame. Right now, the plan is to keep the purple flame isolated to Brooklyn. So it's an extra component. It's an extra gameplay mechanic that we're adding to the DLC itself. It's not immediately going to be added to the rest of the game. Could we reuse it in the future and bring it on occasion or for special events in the rest of the game? Why not? We could consider that, but it's not going to be just flat added to all the fire effects in the game or all the cleaner fire. That's not the plan.
All right. Will there be any more SHD XP level events in the next season?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Okay. People asking about new incursion. I think kind of touched on that, but
Yeah, I already said we don't have plans for a new incursion.
any plans to update PvP? So this is for the PvP community.
Hello, I see you, PvP community. I've seen you in chat already.
Yeah.
We haven't announced anything. We have some thoughts here and there, but we haven't announced anything on PvP specifically, and I have nothing to announce just now.
Okay. Is there a chance to get turmoil knee pads again?
Maybe. Sam, I don't have anything concrete, but obviously for items that are popular like that and that people want to see coming back, we're always on the lookout for opportunities to bring them back. So I'm sure we will find ways to make them available again in the future.
Okay, another one about, I think, will there be a cap on expertise at some point?
Yeah, we're considering it. I don't know what I'm supposed to say that, but I will anyway. We have to see. We have to think of expertise in general. That's a system that probably needs a bit of a pass. But yes, adding a cap is something we're considering. Yes.
All right. I think that's all the questions we got from chat that our staff team selected for us. We can go a little bit more through the chat. Will Brooklyn have a new stronghold?
Not a stronghold. You have main missions. Some of them are longer than others, so there could be. I think the last one is a bit longer than the other one, so technically maybe it could be a stronghold, but it's still called the main mission. Is Brooklyn map bigger or smaller in size compared to Warlords? No, it is smaller. I see comments on the cap as well. I've seen people talking about expertise in PvP and having to remove expertise in PvP. I think there's a whole discussion to be had on PvP and the normalization of stats in PvP. Obviously, expertise can be a huge difference maker. So yes, it is an issue. I don't know that removing it, kind of blindly is necessarily the solution, but it is something we are aware of, and we're trying to find solutions or think of solutions.
Going through the chat now, I'm trying to see a lot of questions that we already covered.
More loadouts. I see people asking for more loadouts. It's Sam. I don't know if we will do it, but it would be nice. Yes, I agree.
Some people asking for trailer for season 7. We're not going to show any trailer today. This is just a Q&A session. But what we're going to have, it's a new stream before the new update, before Brooklyn and the new season. This stream will be much more fun with cool stuff to be shown, and I won't be here. And I want to be here, so it's going to be another ComDev. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward for it as well. So I got the questions, and the other ComDev that will be introduced will come up with the nice stuff, the fun stuff.
Open all, yeah, I've seen that a lot in chat. People asking for an option to open all boxes at once, or all the caches. So that can be for the apparel caches, or also all the caches you have in your inventory. Yeah, that's also would be nice. I think I know we've had discussions in the past about it with the team, and there's a lot of edge cases. So it's something that is not as trivial as it may sound, because there's a lot of scenarios where if we don't handle that right, you could potentially lose the items when you open the caches. So we need to we would need to be very careful with that. But I agree. It's on the list of things I would like us to do it at some point.
When the DLC is available for purchase, May 27th.
Will we ever see leaks again? Not in the form that they had, but I think there was something fun with leaks. We need to kind of look at them and see in what form we could bring back a similar experience.
What else?
Lexington, and everybody's asking for Lexington. Yes, we know you like Lexington.
We this was one of the questions as well, like that we had before.
Yeah.
So we covered that as well. I'm trying to think about to look for new questions.
Any chance of change to descent? Question is gone, but then the rest of the question was about being able to come back to your session after a delta. We don't have plans to change descent at this time. Bringing a save system to descent, it would be a big ask. So it's not something that we could easily achieve, unfortunately. Trust me, we've looked at it a few times. Unfortunately, it's a really big one, so it would take a lot of work to do. Not something we want to prioritize right now. Chat is going a bit crazy, so
yeah,
sorry,
it's
a
too
bit hard
fast for me.
it's a bit hard to catch the questions here.
I'm a little bit dizzy with it.
Raise the percentage of rogue spawns in the open world. I don't know, maybe. But then if we make them too common, it becomes boring as well. We also need to make rogues more interesting in terms of what you get from fighting rogues.
We'll get some of the Chinese exclusives.
Well, that's a case-by-case basis. We like to look at what's been done there and find inspiration from what they've done. And if we see things that are interesting, we can potentially reuse it. So we might see more of that in the future. But there's a lot of things that we don't necessarily want to bring.
Expertise and optimization cost reduced. We kind of covered that as well.
Yeah, I mean, first we are going to give you more materials. Then we'll maybe look at the costs further down the line. I see a lot of survival questions, so I'm not going to ignore it. We don't have plans to bring back survival. I've said it a million times.
Yannick, your favorite meal? It's a personal question. It's a spot in the middle of them.
My
favorite meal.
I'm a person of very simple taste, so I like a good pizza or just a good sandwich. I'm not fancy.
Simple man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have 2 more minutes for the stream, so let's see what else we can get. When can we get the missing Twitch drop? So as I mentioned before, we're investigating how we can fix the previous Twitch drops issue we had with the last campaign. We are investigating if we can make it right, and if we cannot, we're just gonna be generous with the community and make sure that people get what they want. In this case, what else we have here?
Yannick Hunter Boss. No, you don't need a Hunter Boss. There's a Yannick in the game already. It's tough enough. Any chance of bringing back some Division 1 apparel into Division 2? I don't know. What would you like to see? Is there any plan to increase the player's inventory space and cache space? Inventory, no. We are increasing stash space, but the inventory of the character, no. We don't have plans to expand that. You get 150 items already. That's already a lot. I know not enough for a lot of people, but still, I don't know that adding more space would necessarily help you with inventory management. Dino outfit. Someone asked for Dino outfit, and it's not digitical. I'm surprised. No.
he submitted the question, and I removed from the list. So now, yeah. I think we have Yeah, we're almost there.
Any plans to shave Yannick? No, you don't want to see that. Oh, Poupon. The answer to your question, Poupon, is no.
A lot of repeated.
I see a lot of questions for the open all cash option. So obviously that's an important one. Something we really need to look at.
All right, let's see if I can get it. Final one now.
Are the DLC main missions replayable? Yes, they are.
What's the price of the DLC for Brazil? Honestly, I have no idea. I need to check out that information now. I'm living in Sweden, so I don't know. My store is in Swedish.
Any plans to add new specializations in the future? No, not right now. And I know that the question that I've seen already in chat is people still asking for the spec revamp that we announced a long time ago. And the position hasn't changed on that one. It's still on ice. We still want to revisit specs at some point, but there's a lot of things we would like to do with the game, and we need to pick which ones we want to prioritize. And spec revamp is not the priority right now.
Okay, I'm gonna pick one of the questions that actually was the first one we answered. When pre-order, again, the DLC is not gonna be available for pre-order, only for wishlist. So if you go to Ubi store, you can wishlist it. Otherwise, you can buy the new DLC May 27th, 8 a.m. Central European summertime. So with this, we finalize our stream. Thank you so much, Yannick, for your knowledge and your answers. Thank you, George, for helping us with the technical aspect today. It was George's first stream, so we are very proud of George. And obviously, yeah, it was a roller coaster, but everything was just fine.
At us. He's trying to stay focused.
He's super
trying
focused.
to not fuck up the
the
end
ending
of the stream.
Yeah. No, maybe too soon. I really appreciate everyone who submitted their questions and their videos. We got a lot of questions. Those questions are also very helpful for us to understand what topics we need to address more often, or what answers we need to deliver to the community. So if your question didn't make to the stream, it's not a problem at all. We're going to go through them. Either way, we're going to try to identify points that we can be more transparent, or we can be more frequent in our communication. So I'm super excited. Only 6 days until we go to Brooklyn. We have season Crossroads.
It's just 6 days. Oh my God. I'm so looking forward.
It's been such a long time. I know that a lot
on this for a long time.
Yeah. And the Crossroads season as well will come with a new year 7. So we're going to have another stream, like I mentioned before, another stream that we're going to show more stuff that are coming. And this stream is not gonna be hosted by me. So I wish you all, since you've been super gentle to me, super nice, I wish you all to I'm asking you all to also be like this to the new person who will become here in the next stream. But other than that, I'm super happy. I'm super excited about everything that we are preparing here. I'm happy to see how much engagement we got. And yep, agents, it's almost there. Thank you so much for your audience. Thank you so much for your questions. I'll keep an eye on everything that you mentioned during this stream as well. So you're not going to be forgotten. Okay. Again, thank you so much. May 27 is almost there. See you next time, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. Okay. I need to do a full recap and catch everyone up to speed. I know a lot of people missed the first half of it because it was very early for most.
Automated external
I get it.
defibrillators detected on hostiles. Safe area entered.
But I'm going to be doing a full recap, all right? So the longer that I stay here, the longer it will be before the recap. So So we're all banned? No. No bans. Here, I'll give you a quick recap before I go make the video, okay? No bans. Nothing like that. No resets, no rollbacks. The DLC will have no pre-orders. You'll be able to get the DLC very early on the 27th. I think they said 8 a.m. Central European time, which would mean, I think over here in the States, we're going to get it on the 26th, right? So we're, that's going to be interesting. But they said nothing about PvP. Yannick basically said that they have things in the works with PvP, but there's nothing to announce right now. They said that they're looking into getting an expertise cap. They said that they will be doing a live stream on Monday. What else did they say? Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. DLC will be $15. No pre-orders. So basically, as soon as it's available, you reset your system or whatever and then buy it. So they said it will be the 27th, but the timing of it, I'm going to have to double check the timing that they said, because it sounded like he said 8 a.m. Central European. So that would be really early our time over here in the States. I don't know. What is that? Let me see. That would be what, like 2 a.m.? Something like that? Anyways. But, what else? What else do we have? The exotic will be locked behind the climax mission. They will have another exotic locked behind the DLC. There will be 8 hunters. There will be missions that will be all replayable. They said nothing about legendary. They said maybe to the Lexington, maybe to the turmoil. I think I answered everything. I see you, Joe. They said nothing about the servers. They did not. So, I see you guys. All right. But I think that's about it. I think I'm going to do a recap video. That way I can catch everyone up to speed and then show them whatever they missed. But if you have anything for me, let me know right now before I get out of here. No raid, no incursion, negative, none of that. I'm going to have to write all this stuff down so that I can make a quick recap. Hey, I appreciate that, Woody. Digital Fury, I see you. Menace, I see you. Yo-Yo the Gamer, Brooklyn Initiative Cache, will they keep? No idea what you're saying. Is the glitch thing still a thing? Yeah, it is. Yo, Sick Kid Crew in the house! Trying to add that song to my gameplay more. I do appreciate you guys. All right. Any last questions before I get out of here? I'm going to do a full recap video, so I'll probably have like a 30, 45 minute turnaround on that because I have to upload it and do all that crap. Do you think removing expertise from conflict in DZ would help the meta? I don't know. They already removed expertise from conflict. Not the DZ, though. I think anything goes in the DZ, right? Will Brooklyn be added to priority objectives? Yes. And projects? Yes. Yes. He said there will be options, and he said that it won't be all priority objectives, but there will be some for Brooklyn, yes. All right, I'm going to do a full recap video, everybody. All right, so if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you guys very soon. So I'm going to turn around and just make my my recap video. So take care now. Bye-bye, Dan. I'll see you soon. Hey, peace out.